This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
It really does baffle me how people can say that Anthony Joshua has not fought the best around, has not tried. He's been taking easy picks all the way through. But here's the thing. Can anybody tell me who's done better than Anthony Joshua? Can anybody tell me who? Bearing in mind, Joshua's only had 22 fights. Now, on your screen right now is the top 10 currently, as of today, on BoxRec. I use BoxRec because it's a allegedly unbiased, unpaid, uncorruptible domain. I could use WBC, WBA, IBF or WBO, but as we know, brown envelopes, all that kind of thing could well happen. People can buy certain positions. Could use Ring Magazine as well, but again, apparently that's been kind of like, they had some kind of association with Oscar De La Hoya of Golden Boy. This is why I'm going to use this one. So we're going to go through, briefly, Anthony Joshua's resume. Okay, so as I said, this is the top 10 currently. Let's see who it is that Anthony Joshua has already fought and beaten in the top 10. Okay, number 4, currently, Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is currently on the WBC number 1. Who else we got? Alexander Povetkin, number 5. At the time of Joshua fighting Povetkin, Povetkin was number 3 on here. He was voted ranked as the number 3 in the world. Joshua defeated him. Povetkin, who has arguably the best resume, had the best resume in the heavyweight division. A guy who Wilder avoided. Him versus Povetkin should have took place. Hence the reason why Povetkin sued Deontay Wilder's team and won. Because he was within the legal limit. He shouldn't have had anything in the system for the PEDs. I get it. But the fight should have went ahead. It was within the legal limit. Okay? So that's 2 that Anthony Joshua has defeated. Currently number 4 and number 5. Number 9, Dominic Brazil. This was Anthony Joshua's first defense of his heavyweight title of the IBF after being Charles Martin. Dominic Brazil is currently Deontay Wilder's mandatory. Okay? So already it's number 1, Dillian Whyte, and the WBC mandatory in Dominic Brazil that Anthony Joshua has already defeated. Number 10, Joseph Parker. He was a world champion, unification. At the time, he was ranked number 3 in the world. But Joshua is taking the easy ones. Okay? Let's have a little look at the ones he hasn't fought yet in the top 10. Let's start off with Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller could well be next. As we know, Joshua wants Wilder next. If he can't get Wilder, even though he's offered him 40%, even though Wilder's done bugger all to deserve that 40%, but still, he's offered him 40%. Wilder's not even responding. So that's his first one. Number 2, Tyson Fury. Again, offered him a flat fee, which is what Tyson Fury wanted, but also the option of 40%. But Wilder and Tyson Fury want to fight each other. Dillian Whyte has an offer. He feels it's a lowball offer. So I'm saying in the region of £4 million. It's pretty good money, but he could probably get £4 million fighting somebody else. Fight Dominic Brazil. Become WBC mandatory. Take on the winner of Wilder versus Fury. Get that belt. He's going back to the table to Anthony Joshua for a hell of a lot more. So again, it's about, he needs to value himself, as everybody does. Nobody should ever undersell themselves. Okay? And number 4 will be Jarrell Miller. As I said, if he can't get those 3, Jarrell Miller will be next. And he will go to New York at Madison Square Garden to take on big baby Jarrell Miller. Because they feel that Miller coming to the UK wouldn't do too much for the pay-per-view. But additionally, Joshua, he does need to travel at some point. He is world champion. He shouldn't be confined to the boundaries of the United Kingdom. Of course not. But Jarrell Miller, he's trying to fight. So already we've mentioned the entire top 6 right there that Joshua's either fought or has tried to fight. Sent them contracts, okay? Move on down to Kubrat Pulev, number 7. They already signed a contract to take on each other when Kubrat Pulev was Anthony Joshua's IBF mandatory. In fact, he even offered Pulev fights before they officially ordered the mandatory. Pulev pulled out through injury. He was replaced by Carlos Takam. You remember that one? So again, he tried to fight Pulev. Luis Ortiz. He was a WBA mandatory right when Anthony Joshua defeated Vladimir Klitschko. But because he was IBF champion before he got the WBA title, he had to defend it against his IBF mandatory. At the time, Kubrat Pulev, as we've just said. But he offered Luis Ortiz a contract to fight him next. After he defeated Pulev, you will be next. Guarantee, I'll give you a contract. You can wait for me, you can fight on my undercard, you can do whatever you like, but I'll fight you next. Luis Ortiz didn't want that. He wanted his world title fight now. Stephen Espinoza forced Deontay Wilder onto Luis Ortiz because they had enough of Deontay Wilder fighting below par opposition. Luis Ortiz thought, you know what, if I defeat Deontay Wilder, I can then go to the table with the WBC belt. Which, had it worked out, it would have been an excellent plan. But he failed a PED test. Subsequently, the WBA dropped him from the rankings. I don't agree that they should have dropped him from the rankings, as the WBC didn't. But still, they offered Luis Ortiz a contract to fight him. So, everybody in the top 10, Anthony Joshua has either fought or tried to fight. But yet Joshua hasn't fought anybody. Joshua's taken the easy fights. But yet you guys want to praise Wilder? What's he done? What's he done? He beat Luis Ortiz, who at the time failed a medical 1 hour before the ring walk. This is fact. He failed the medical 1 hour before the ring walk. He had to get special permission to go ahead with a fight, with the fact being, if something happened in the ring, on your head be it. But who else has he fought in the top 10? He hasn't cleaned up domestically, has he? He hasn't fought a Jarrell Miller. He hasn't fought his mandatory in dominant Brazil. And Brazil's been mandatory for 13, 14 months now. He's had one mandatory in 4 years. And never unified either. He hasn't fought Andy Ruiz Jr., also American. He could have fought Charles Martin for a unification instead of Joshua doing it. But they didn't have the money. Yeah, they got money to pay $50 million for Joshua. Oh, wait a second. No, they didn't. They had to come to the UK and get the money from Frank Warren and BT Sport, which Anthony Joshua couldn't fight on. But people want to praise Deontay Wilder. Praise him. He took on Tyson Fury because he thought Tyson Fury was an easy touch. It's a name on the resume, a guaranteed victory. Yeah, guaranteed victory for anybody who's any good. It backfired on you. That cherry pick backfired on you, Wilder. Tyson Fury beat you handedly. Handedly. Because you dropped him 2 times. That erases another 10 rounds, does it? And those 2 rounds that you dropped Tyson Fury in, Tyson Fury came back and won the damn round. So even then, it's not actually 10-8 rounds, is it? It's 9-9, isn't it? Because the judge's rule is, it's not a guaranteed 10-8 round if the person who got dropped wins the round. So everybody who says that Deontay Wilder got 2 10-8 rounds, well, the judges did give him 10-8 rounds, but the facts are, and the rules are, it didn't have to be. If Tyson Fury had not got dropped in those rounds, would he have won those rounds? If the answer is yes, then those 2 rounds should have been a draw. Correct? But Anthony Joshua, what? He should give Wilder 50-50? Really? Would you if it's your money? Of course you wouldn't. So Joshua, out of those top 10, who is it that Joshua either hasn't fought that he should have fought? And those who he should have fought, who won't fight him? What more is Joshua supposed to do? Who else is there? Who else is there? You want to go fight what? Christian Hammer? What do you want him to do? Sergey Kuzmin? Tom Schwartz? The dude over in Japan or China for mega money, by the way? What is it he's supposed to do? Should Joshua keep on conceding all the time, giving these people life-changing money each and every time? Is that what Joshua's supposed to do? Wilder hasn't deserved it. He doesn't deserve 40%, but the 40%'s on the table. Tyson Fury. Listen, okay, he beat Klitschko, but guess what? So did Joshua. Joshua also beat Klitschko. And how do we know that Vladimir Klitschko wouldn't have beaten Tyson Fury in the rematch? How do we know that wouldn't have happened? Because quite clearly, he underestimated Tyson Fury and overlooked him. Listen, I'm not saying that Vladimir Klitschko would have done. Hopefully, Tyson Fury would have done him again had the fight happened. But Tyson Fury didn't seem very confident in the build-up to the rematch. Not at all. Deontay Wilder avoided both Klitschko brothers. In fact, he waited for Vitaly Klitschko to retire. And then he went after Bermane Stiverne, who should never have been damn champion anyway. And when Wilder did get the belt, what happened? He fought Eric Molino. Wow. Chris Arreola. Whoa, what a killer. Arthur Spilker. Wow, another killer. Johan Duapa. My goodness. Gerald Washington. Damn. Really? So Anthony Joshua, what? His legacy's hanging on a thread, is it? But Deontay Wilder's doing everything right. Deontay Wilder lost. What are you talking about? He lost to a fat man. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up and, of course, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.